Hello! Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a quick and easy stamp using just a few cheap items. In the end, it's going to look something like this. All you need for this project is primary color paint, some scrap cardboard, you'll need yarn, scissors, a palette, and paper. Really easy. It worked very well in my third grade class where I used it for our project Bonfire Day. As you can see, I used the stamp, like this one, to create this pattern effect in the background. Students in even the third grade were able to do this and they had a great time doing so. So what you need to do first is find an item. You can use either a compass or any sort of circular item, and you need to trace that onto your cardboard. So I'm just going to quickly trace my circle. If you have a compass at home, that would work great too. It doesn't matter what size you want to use, and actually it doesn't matter if it's a circle or not. So I went ahead and traced that on there, as you can see, right there. And you're just going to cut that out as best as you can. I got this cardboard off an old shoebox. Any retailer should be able to provide you cardboard for free. I always seem to have some lying around, so easy to find. And you're just going to want to cut around the edge of that circle, and that's going to be your template for your design. So bear with me while I cut this out. Alright, so now I've got my circle, and I need to put a pattern on it. What you can do then is around the outside, the perimeter of your circle, make tiny notches where the yarn can fit through. In my example, I went ahead and used 8 notches. You can use as few or as many as you want. The more, the more intricate of a design you can make. So I'm going to do the same, and just carefully around the edge without cutting it in half, I'm going to cut in my notches. Probably about 1/4 of an inch long, and I'm going to do 8 of them again. You just carefully cut those in. And voila, there's your template. The next thing you're going to need to do is make a design over that template. I went ahead and grabbed this yarn. The reason I grabbed this one in particular is because it's really thick. The thicker the yarn, the higher it's going to be raised off of the surface of the template, which means you're going to be getting a sharper image in your stamp. So I went ahead and grabbed this really thick yarn, and you just want to grab however much you think you'll need to make a design that you want. So I figure, that's plenty. More than enough, I'm sure. So cut that. Take my circle, and just like flossing your teeth, you'll take the edge of the string and just shimmy it down into that notch. See how I did that? Just shimmied it right down in there. So it's nice and tight, it's not going anywhere. From there, you'll string it across the other notches in whichever sort of a pattern you want. In my example, here, and then also with my Bonfire Day project, I made stars. The great thing about this is it leaves you open to basically unlimited options of how you want to string this along. I think this time I want to make a really big triangle, star or something like that, but you can do anything that you want. So I got 2 really big triangles. and then I added a third one over top of that. So that's going to be the design that I'm going to use to print. And again, the reason why I said we'd want to use a thick yarn is because, for example, if we use a really thin string, you're not going to get a stamp out of that. It's just going to press against the surface of the cardboard, and you're just going to get a blob of color. So that's why we used a really thick string. When you're doing this at home for your project, you'll have a piece of paper. I'm just going to use my scrap cardboard for now to show how you'd print it. You'll take your palette. I went ahead and laid out the primary colors, and I think I'm just going to use those for that. Feel free to mix them together. You've got unlimited options of designs. Why not limit yourself in color? So do whatever you want. I'm going to go ahead and stamp this into the yellow, and then a little bit into the red, and just make sure you get enough in there so that all of the string is covered. It's a little bit messy, but in the end it turns out really cool. So right there, all of my strings covered. Like I said, it's a bit of a mess, but it's fine. And you'll take that and you'll lightly press that down on your paper using the back to pick it up. So I'm going to stamp that a few times. And you can see I've made my design on the paper, well, my cardboard. There's a few areas of caution you'll want to take when you're using the stamp. One is that if you put too much paint on your stamp, it's just going to end up really globby on the paper. So for example, if I just go ahead and I really just get that in there, make a mess, and I stamp that down, I just have a glob pretty much. And if that's what you're going for, that's fine. But another thing is the pressure in which you press down. You want to press down very gently. The more you press, the flatter the yarn's going to get, and it's going to become closer to the cardboard. So if you press it down really hard, you're going to get all of the paint that's collected itself on the cardboard onto your paper. And chances are you probably don't want that. So again, you can use that in any sort of color combination you'd like. I used a primary color scheme. You can use any color scheme you want. You can dip different edges in different colors. You can wind this in however many different ways. In my class of 20 students, we had 20 different outcomes, and I think that's something I'm proud of with this assignment. I enjoy sticking with the stars, something I know, but we had some students that did some great work, and I think you can too. So thank you again for listening. I hope this works well for you.